Hi guys, and welcome back to Completed It Mate. This week, there's really no other way to describe it. I'm doing an unboxing episode. My kids, right, they're 2 and 4, they can't get enough of watching people unbox toys, open Kinder eggs, that sort of thing. I don't get it. They make me feel like a granddad because I don't understand why people enjoy watching things like that so much. But I have got a little package here that I would love to show you. It isn't a Kinder egg, so I won't be expecting to get 5 million views for this video. It's actually a package from Scuf controllers. So here it is, just here, let me get it. This little box here, little box of goodies. Now, let me point out, I bought this, I paid for this out of my own pocket. This isn't a freebie. This channel cannot be bought, okay? Everything that I say to you will always be honest and will always be my opinion. My opinion might be completely wrong, like you might completely disagree, and that's great, that's brilliant. I love it when you guys have a different opinion, put it in the comments box, but I think it's important for you guys to know that you can trust me and trust that whatever I say isn't motivated by getting free stuff or possibly being paid to say something. If any of those things ever occur, if anyone ever says, oh, we'd love to give you some free stuff if you would be complimentary about it in a video, the discussion I will always have is that I'll let my viewers know that I've got this for free, because like I want to be honest with them, and that if I am complimentary, it's because I would have been complimentary anyway. So I'm only ever gonna take free stuff from stuff I like. You won't see me getting paid or taking free stuff from and saying things that I don't believe. That will never ever ever happen. Not that anyone is offering to pay me to say anything or to you know, we're a small channel. Completed Mate is small at the moment. But yeah, I'll always be honest with you guys. You can. I want you to know that I don't need to do this for financial reasons or to get things for free. I've got like quite a good, well-paid job and all that. So if I wanted to become a big YouTube star really easily, I would have just done a load of Jay from the In-Betweeners stuff and pretended to be Jay, and people would have loved that and got on board with that. The reason I'm doing this is because I love video games. That's all there is to it. Anyway, I'll stop rambling on and I'll open the box. I think I'm just going to move the camera to be sort of up and looking down at the box. I've only got one camera, so I can't cut between two cameras, so bear with me. Okay, so here it is, my package from Scuf controllers. What is a Scuf controller, first and foremost? It's a tweaked controller that has a couple extra features that are supposed to help your gameplay and give you advantage over other players using a normal controller. Now, what I've got in here, I've got a hat from Scuf, one of those sort of, I don't know what you call it, you put like an ID badge on it or something. Comment if you know the actual name for these things. And what's this? I think this is like a keychain. So now those things I didn't actually order. I don't know if Scuf threw these things in for me because I'm so special, or if that's a normal thing. So yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know that. Right, now, first things first. Here I've got the Scuf Gaming Gamer Bundle. Okay, this is a package that you can buy on top of your controller, and they give it to you at a reduced price. And there's some really cool things inside here. This I did buy, this I paid for, because there was a couple of things in this bundle that I wanted to buy anyway,
and then because they give you a special deal, I thought, why not, might as well buy it. So let's have a look at this first. So as I say, this cost me $31.99. It usually costs $63.99, but as I say, once you've ordered your controller, you get an option to add this to your order at a reduced price, which is brilliant. So here is what you get. Just open that. Right, first things first, this is a Scuf protection case. Now, I already have a couple of these for my standard controllers for if I'm working away or something like that. I like to take my console with me because I'm such a big nerd, and I like to keep my controllers protected. So I have a couple of these already, but the Scuf controller, as we'll soon see, is a slightly different shape, which is why I wanted one of these, so I can take my Scuf controller out and about with me if I've got a job. Usually I have to go to another country when I'm working, so it's nice to know that everything's protected, that those baggage handlers aren't going to smash up my controllers, so that it's peace of mind. And if you're getting a Scuf controller, I definitely recommend just stretching a little bit further to get one of these, just to make sure that nothing happens to it and you keep it safe. Here is a nice long lead to charge your controller. Again, I recommend getting one of these. I'm not quite sure how long it is. It's probably about sort of maybe 3 feet, something like that, 4 feet, and it gives you that extra slack. If you're like me and you have a few controllers, but you've got that favourite one, you've got that one that that just feels right, and you don't want to stop playing, wait for it to charge, or charge it using the standard lead. I find it's very short, and I like to move about quite a lot while I'm playing computer games, and this gives you your freedom to do that. I did already have a long lead. It was a problem that I overcame by buying one for about £3 off of Amazon, which is you know, I thought was quite good value. But this is slightly different. So let me open this up for you. Now, the one I bought from Amazon has your standard rubber coating, which can sort of perish after time. This has a lovely sort of threaded, knitted coating, and you can tell that it's very durable, that this is going to last a long time. You're going to be able to use it again and again. You're going to be able to move about while you're charging your controller, and this is going to be able to take that punishment. I've already actually used this. I've cheated because I opened this box before, and I really love this. Okay, what else? We've got some gamer grip. So gamer grip, this comes in the bundle. If you're anything like me, you will have disgusting, sweaty, clammy hands while you're playing computer games, and usually what I find is my thumbs, they will slip off the analog sticks really easily. I've bought this again in the past. I love this stuff. You squeeze a tiny little drop in the middle of your hand. I don't know if you can see, my hands are sweating at the moment. I don't know what's wrong with me. You rub that in, and it's really difficult to describe because you don't get sort of tacky hands. They aren't sticky, but they're dry, but they're not sort of slippery as if you'd use talcum powder. It's just, I don't know, I assume it's sort of like similar to weightlifters chalk or rock climbing chalk. Obviously, I have no experience in either of those things, but that's what I guess it must be like. All these things are about just taking your game to the next level. It's just those little margins, those little fractions, tiny little things that you can do to give yourself an advantage. You know, if you're playing Call of Duty, for example, all these little things, they will add together and really improve your gameplay. Here are some spare thumbsticks. In this packet you get a variation of domed or concaved thumbsticks. You get a shorter one and a longer one in each. Actually, my controllers are set up in that I have a short thumbstick and a longer thumbstick on the right. I feel it helps me be more precise when I'm aiming on games, on first-person shooters, and so that's the setup that I like. And it's nice that I've got a choice between the domed and the concave, because I'm actually not that sure on which one I prefer. So I get to have a choice now, which is great. This is a spare set of Scuf infinity rings and a little key to unlock. This will help you unlock, I think this will help you unlock your thumbsticks and lock them back into place again. So that's just, you get this, you do get this with your controller, but it's just a nice little spare to have. So I'll put all that back, all nice and neat. Now, how are my hands doing? How's my hand acting? Ooh, it's on to the main event. Here it is. Here you go. This is it. This is the Scuf controller. Let me show you what this thing's all about then. What is all the fuss about with these Scuf controllers? Let's find out together. Okay, so first, what's this? Well, we've got a sticker. There you go, there's a sticker there, you get that free. Sort of quite a common marketing ploy now to make sure, because everyone loves a sticker, don't they? Ripped off of dentists, that was. As far as I'm aware, the dentist was the first person to give you a sticker after you used their services, so they're a bit Johnny-come-lately for me, these people. Apple, you always get a little Apple sticker if you ever buy anything from Apple these days as well, I find. The dentists were there first. What's this? I've got a thank you card. And oh, it's got a code that gives me, how much? 5% off my next purchase, so that's a nice touch as well. Thank you, Scuf, for that. This is your product guide. We'll read that. I'll read that. We're not going to read that together. That would be incredibly boring. As you know, I love a guide. Here it is. Here is my controller. Now, you can pretty much have this in any style, colour, variation that you want. There is loads of different colours, loads of different styles and patterns to choose from. You can pick all the buttons, you can pick the colour of the thumbsticks, the colour of the triggers, the colour of the case, the colour of the, what do you call this, trackpad? I don't know, I can't remember. I've gone for black and gold. I'm quite boring, I like things quite plain, quite simple, and I thought this is a very special controller, so I'll get it in gold. I don't know about you guys, but I love it. I think it looks absolutely brilliant. In this little hole here is your thumbstick key. You can use that to unlock your thumbsticks, swap them out, change them in for a different kind, different length. It really is as easy as that. So the D-pad on this one, I've got a sort of, it's like a little cover. It's a disc that goes over the D-pad. This comes off, it's optional. You can take that off, you can have a normal D-pad. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time now putting this back on. There we go. Now, from what I can tell, this is, if you're old school, you prefer still using a D-pad over an analog, then this is quite a nice little happy medium, because what this does is it essentially turns the D-pad. You can move all around. You've got much more precision there, and it essentially turns it into an analog stick. So you can carry on using your D-pad, but be slightly more precise and have that precision of an analog stick. It's brilliant. We've got some packets down here in the bottom. Let me talk to you about those. So this little packet here, this has the tools that you need to change the settings of your triggers. So you can literally have a hair trigger. It will make it very, very sensitive. As soon as you put your finger on that trigger, you're going to fire. And this packet here, it contains what I can only describe as like a little fob. It's a small fob. It's what's the proper name from it? It's for electromagnetic remapping. So what's that? Let's turn the controller around and see what this controller is all about. Okay, so here, let me just bring this in a bit closer. So here you can see, this is the secret, okay? These little paddles here, they're little paddles that are on the back of the controller. Now these paddles at the moment are programmed to do whatever circle and X does. So for Call of Duty, for example, it will be jump and crouch. Now the advantage for this, when you're playing Call of Duty and you want to jump or slide, but you don't want to take your finger off those thumbsticks, you want to keep full control. So usually if you're playing COD and you want to jump, you make a quick jump, double boost, I love a double boost, or if you're running, you want to slide in, you have to use this thumb. Now, what these paddles do is they completely free up your thumbs. Okay, so I can keep my thumb on here, and I can just jump, or I can slide by using my fingers. Everything else is freed up. Now this makes complete sense. For decades now, the thumb has been what's been important. Then I think it was the N64 really that brought out the trigger in consoles. So you're sort of, what are these, your forefingers? Is that what they are? Anyway, your index finger, pointy finger, the finger you'd point at something with, they became quite sort of important. So it was just thumbs and these fingers. Now you've got this. So I can imagine it's going to take a lot of getting used to. I can imagine that I'm not going to be able to use this straight away, but I can totally see the advantage of being able to aim and completely maneuver whilst jumping, whilst sliding, whilst crouching, and not having to take your finger off those thumbsticks ever. I think is a really, really great idea. Now you can get 4 paddles on the back of your controller. I think it's exactly the same if you're Xbox, and that will control all 4 of these buttons. I went for a more simple 2-button, thing going on here. It's completely customizable. They do whatever you ask, basically. I only wanted the 2 buttons. Although I can imagine that a 4-button thing could be good, because then you can reload and all sorts without ever having to take your thumbs off these paddles. So I can totally see why that would be a good idea. But that's where this fob comes in. So at the moment, these buttons here, they are programmed to jump or crouch. But this little fob here, you sort of hold this at the back of the controller, and it gives you the options to remap these buttons, so they can do reloading if you'd prefer to reload whilst having full control and things like that. So that's why I've got that, because I feel like I've got the best of both worlds. I've got the 2 buttons here, slightly less complicated than the 4 buttons. The 4 paddles at the back here, I think it would throw me a bit. But I can remap them. So I feel like I've got a really good best of both worlds. I said feel there. I didn't say feel. I said feel with a TH. Feel. I do that when I'm tired. I think I might be tired. Oh no. As you can see, the triggers here, they're nice and long. They are much longer than your standard PS4 triggers. So that gives you a really good surface area to avoid you slipping or missing. I'm sure you can see that is a long trigger, and under the triggers, under these triggers here, there's little lips. I don't think you'll be able to see them because my camera isn't good enough. I need to get a better lens, a macro lens, I think, if I'm going to start doing these sort of things. And these little lips, they twist and turn, and that is where you choose the sensitivity of your trigger. And you can have a real sensitive trigger, so if you just lean on it, that's going to fire off. For me personally, I think I would have preferred a rougher finish on these paddles. I don't know if you can tell, but they're quite smooth, quite slippery. I prefer something grippy, but I'm guessing these triggers are long enough that I'm not going to really slip off that much. Like I can't, like it is impossible. I'm trying to slip off, and it is impossible. That's the only criticism behind the build that I can think of, and it's a very, very minor one. I also went for the military grade grip, and I'm telling you, it feels great. It feels really, really good. You know, coupled with that gamer grip, I'm gonna have full control of this controller. There's not gonna be any mistakes. I'm not gonna be able to use the fact that my hands slipped, that my hands are getting slippery and sweaty. I don't think I'll be using that as an excuse anymore. Now the whole controller, it feels very, very solid, very, very durable. It feels like a meaty controller, which is also fair enough, because this controller, it cost me £180 to build. Now there are cheaper and more expensive options. This has been built to my preference. It's all the things I wanted. I didn't want the 4 paddles and things like that, and I'm sure you don't have to have this grip. Little things like that, they will bring the costs down. But if you're gonna pay for a controller like this, it needs to be the one you want. Because if you buy cheap, you buy twice. I do think that is a lot of money to shell out for this sort of thing. If you are like me, then you know you will totally see the value in it. I totally get it. I wanted one of these. I bought this with my own money. And I'm very, very happy with it. I think it's worth it for me personally. Is it completely necessary? Probably not. No, I mean, I do like the standard PS4 controllers. I can't speak for Xbox. I've never been able to get on with their controllers, but from what I can tell, they're also built very well. But this PS4, the PlayStation controller, it's a design that I've been used to for over 20 years now. So I wouldn't say that this is a necessity, but it is something if you want to treat yourself, if you want to get yourself something a little bit special, or if there is a gamer in your life, a significant other, a son or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you know, somebody who's into their games that you want to show that you get what they're into. And I can tell you now, if you got them one of these, they would be absolutely over the moon. They would really, really cherish this. So if it was a birthday or a Christmas or something like that, this is something that I feel is just that little bit extra special. If you're like me, you're not going to be interested if it's a birthday or something like that. You don't want jewellery or, you know, all those things that people consider as special. This to me, this shows that you get that special person, and they will cherish this much more than a new watch or a bracelet or a pair of earrings or anything like that. So that's what it comes down to for me. It isn't necessary, but it's something special that you will love. So there you have it, guys, my first ever unboxing episode. I've tried to be as informed as possible. I don't think I've left anything out. I tried to say, I made a load of notes and I tried to say everything I wanted to say about the controller. I'm not 100% convinced that this was a particularly good episode. I've tried something new. I think only having one camera and just looking at my hands for a long time is probably very, very boring. But like my kids, that's all they watch. Like, they're crazy about that sort of thing. So I don't get it. Your comments would be really, really greatly appreciated. Again, you know, my channel is still new. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to find what works, what doesn't. So if this hasn't worked, I hope you've bared with me for this week. I'll be back to some good stuff next week, I'm sure. Also, if you have a Scuf controller, I'd love to hear from you. So leave your comments in the box below. Tell me what you think of it, how you're getting on with it. I want to know all of those things. That's your lot from me for this week. There will be a Let's Complete episode by the end of the week, I'm sure. Unless something's gone terribly wrong. Please subscribe, please like, please share, tell your friends. That's it from me. I'm off. Adios.